Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here, coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter World. Before we begin today, I'd just like to thank each and every one of you that showed up for last night's live stream. It was one of the most successful live streams we've had in this channel as we took on Tempered Lunastra for the very first time, and it's pretty exciting to see you guys all show up, so thank you very much. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a couple of more tips on Tempered Lunastra, particularly in terms of a couple of skills that I found out last night, as well as a couple of new builds that you guys might be able to use in case you don't like to use the charge blade like I personally do. So let's get started. First and foremost, I want to tackle something that most likely a lot of you experienced last night, and that is the glitched Lunastra tickets. So if you went in at exactly the moment that the game updated with Lunastra and you killed her, and after you went into the reward screen, it said unavailable item or item unavailable or whatever it was, and you were just like, where the hell are my tickets? Well, there was a glitch, there was something wrong, and they instantly patched it right as Lunastra showed up. So basically all you have to do is you got to exit out, you got to update your game to the very latest version. And once you do that, the Lunastra ticket is going to show up on your consumables tab. You guys like the consumables tab? Doesn't seem like it's very useful. Okay, so here's what you got to do. You're going to go into your item box. You're going to go into manage items, and I'm assuming that you will have created an item loadout. The way you do this is you press options or the start button if you're on the Xbox. And once you do that, it's going to show up with numbers. It should show up empty if you've never used it before. And you can save an item loadout. Now, for the purpose of this, you don't have to create anything special. Just save whatever item loadout you have on you at the time and save it there. Okay? So let's say, for instance, I would have saved my Elder Dragon's loadout. So once you do that, you then are going to go and you're going to press on an empty space in your loadout. That'll take you to the item box, and you're going to want to scroll to the end, and you will see the Lunastra ticket somewhere in here after you update the game. So let's pretend that this burst Arowana scale is the Lunastra ticket. You're going to want to move that over into your item pouch, and once you do that, you go into manage items and you swap back into the item loadout that you did previously, and it'll automatically fix itself. It will send that item where it is supposed to be, and you will be able to use your tickets. So that's all you need to know in regards to the glitched tickets. You should be able to fix it this way. If you still have questions, ask those in the comment section below, and I will try to reply to you guys as best as I can. Now, continuing onwards, I do have another thing that I want to bring up, which is there's a skill in the game that I've never really used, and I've never really seen it talked about, but this dude popped up in the chat last night, and I said I'd give him a shout out. He's got a massive name. His name is Anonymous Neko Kami Kana Kamui #MGTOW. Okay, that's a long ass name, but anyways, shout out to you, dude, for bringing this to my attention. He said, Rurikhan, you should try using Heat Guard, and I'm like, the hell is Heat Guard? I never even heard of this skill. So anyways, this is a skill that you can get off of a necklace. Off of a necklace, there's a couple more pieces that have this skill. I use the necklace because all the other pieces kind of sucked, in my opinion. But it brings in the skill Heat Guard. And you guys are like, what the hell is Heat Guard? Because that's how I felt. And Heat Guard says right there, nullifies damage from heat. Now you guys might be wondering, whoa, is this just like fire immunity? No. The way this works is it nullifies damage from heat that is in the ground. So for starters, you don't need to use a cold potion if you have this skill, because it automatically brings the cold potion with it. And on top of it, it is going to completely nullify the damage from fire that is coming off from the ground. So for instance, the little lava things that you have on there when you get too close to the edges of the map, no damage. The fire that Lunastra does, and it's just like burning below you, you know, the stuff that burns from below, no damage whatsoever. However, the Nova will still damage you. Even though, you know, the Nova is essentially a bunch of fire in the ground, that'll still deal damage. But everything else that is not the Nova, you'll just completely avoid all damage by using Heat Guard. Now, I'm not really using this because usually I don't tend to stand on that fire all that much. But if you have problems and you're standing and you're ending up in fire way too much, this might be something that will help you. Again, I don't use it because I find fire resistance to be more important, but there you go. Now, I want to talk to you guys about the update that I did on my build. Unfortunately, I had to get rid of the knockout charm. because it was just not pulling its weight, particularly in a multiplayer setting. Because like when you're in solo, yes, you can knock her out, and it's pretty good, it's pretty reliable. But when you're in multiplayer, it's not going to work as well. So I figured, hey, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get rid of that and get something more interesting. And what I went with was fire resistance. And that's just because she does so much fire damage that it's completely insane. It's very hard to survive all of the fire damage that she's doing as Arch-Tempered. So I brought in fire resistance, and this is what the build looks like. Now, I also removed the Dragon Jewel from Devastation's Thorns, and I put a Satiated Jewel in there because you're going to be using a lot of potions. So you might as well go with that. For all those of you that hate using earplugs, I cannot recommend earplugs enough for this fight. She roars often, and a lot of times she'll chain from roar into Nova. She is going to Nova more often than she ever did, which is completely crazy. Like, I've had fights where I've seen her Nova 6, 7, 8 times. It's insane. And a lot of times, even if you cancel the Nova, or if you preemptively detonate the Nova, like I told you guys in the past, when she's about to pop, you can flash her and you can guarantee the Nova. Even if you do that, I've seen her go instantly to Nova capability immediately after the Nova. So she can almost Nova back to back. It's crazy. Okay, she's going to Nova often. Be ready for it. Again, the only thing really swapped here is Satiated Jewel, put 3 fire resistance jewels on the Kushala Grips Gamma, and then we brought an artillery charm in to give us the damage with the charge blade. Now, if you don't want to use a charge blade, I came up with 2 other builds. I know that a lot of you guys are fans of my Face Buster because I like Face Buster. So we did the Luna version of the Face Buster, which is naturally a version that is particularly done just to take on Lunastra. And what we did with it is we put the Shadow Shades Alpha in, and we stuck those full of artillery jewels because we want to get that stun resist. Stun resist, one of the most important skills to have in this fight, in my personal opinion. We still have the 3 fire resist. We got 3 vitality. I put a shield jewel, even though I don't think that's super essential, but I didn't really have anything else to put on here. We have the 2 Steadfast jewels with the Empress Greaves Beta, and we got an earplugs charm to make sure that we still have maximum earplugs. So that gives us earplugs 5, stun resist 3, health boost 3, fire resistance 3, artillery 3, guard 3, focus 2. The focus 2 is not really there for any particular reason. It's just Kushala Grip Gamma was one of the best gloves that I could get with 3 slots. So I just went for that. You can probably, if you really dig deep into the game, you might find something a little bit better. But to be honest, I was just like, this is fine. It's already fully augmented, so I don't really have to touch it all that much. So boom, done. And with this build, that is actually the build that I have the best time. I don't know exactly what the time is. It's probably close to 15 minutes or 13 minutes, something. But this is the build that I've gotten the best time with, and it's very, very easy. Just beat the crap out of her with Face Buster. If you guys know how to use the Face Buster, which is basically shell reload, it makes it super simple, and you get tons of damage, and it's just the most solid way that I've done her. However, because our friend Anonymous Neko Kami Kana Kamui #MGTOW, he sent me a Sword and Shield build, and I was like, well, I don't really want to use your Sword and Shield build because there's a couple of things here that I wouldn't want to use, including the Heat Guard thing, which even though I think it's a valuable skill, I don't stand in fire often enough to justify utilizing that skill. So I swapped that build around, and I did a Sword and Shield build because you guys know that I love Sword and Shield. So if you guys are fans of Sword and Shield as well, you guys might find this next build useful. It is basically a variation of what we got on this one. And here you go. You got Empress Edge Sticks because we're going to be bringing in Blast instead of Dragon. But because you're using a Sword and Shield, you don't need flinches. You can just like spam mounting on top of her and you can get your openings that way. We're going to bring in the Satiated Jewel anyways because we do go through consumables quite a bit. I'm going to bring in the earplugs, the Vitality, the Critical Jewel. I got Kulftaroth's Ire Beta, but I know that Critical Jewels are pretty rare, so you can just use Kulftaroth's Ire Alpha and get the exact same result. So don't stress over the 2 Critical Jewels. You can get the Alpha and you can get 2 crit. But yeah, basically the final build in here will be earplugs times 5, stun resistance 3, health boost 3, fire resistance 3, blast attack 3, critical boost 3, weakness exploit 3, Focus 2, which again comes from the Kushala Grips Gamma. You might get a better deal for another piece of kit. The thing is, the other piece of gear that's got 3 sockets is going to be something out of Valhazak, another piece of gloves that has 3 sockets. And Valhazak's got negative fire resistance, and I really wanted to have high fire resistance for all of these builds. So the focus is not particularly useful, but it gets the job done. Then you got the free meal and razor sharp spare shot, which is pretty damn good. We also wrap things up on the set with demolition charm in case you guys missed that. So we do get quite a few blast procs on her, which deals a significant amount of damage. Now, this is a little bit slower than the face buster because it doesn't deal as much damage, but at the same time, it is a little bit easier to dodge stuff because Sword and Shield is a lot faster. So, you know, it's also viable. So you got 3 viable builds that you can use on her. The main tips that I would give is, remember, if you're not running Heat Guard, as I don't tend to do, make sure that you bring the Cool Potion at least to minimize all of that fire damage that you're going to be receiving. And also try to trigger those Novas if you can. If you're in a multiplayer setting, you're not going to be able to. Remember something. If you're caught in a Nova, she's going to knock you down. When she knocks you down, do not get up. Stay in the ground for as long as you possibly can, because that is going to reduce the amount of damage that you will suffer. If you get up, or for some reason you get knocked back up on your feet, instantly try for the Superman dive if you are in the middle of the Nova. Astera Jerky helps. I personally don't tend to use it all that often, mostly because I'm lazy, but Astera Jerky is a very good way to get your health back up to full if you are hit by the Nova. Really helps out in that particular aspect. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot more to say. Go out there, beat the crap out of Tempered Lunastra, and yeah, good stuff. Thank you all very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember, hit it up with a like. If you guys did not enjoy this video, hit it up with a dislike. If you tend to enjoy my videos, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. Here's 2 video suggestions that you guys might enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.